I used to think that real change was when we stuffed everything deep down and we worked harder. For me, in my life, things didn't start to really change until I started doing two things. My name is Eric Wayne Wade. I meet with men just like you every week to break the silence, unmask, and embrace vulnerability to rise into the men we were created to be. There was a time in my life, might be similar to where you are now, maybe not, but where everything looked picture perfect on paper. I was doing well professionally. I was showing up for my family. I was providing. I was smiling wherever I needed to smile. But deep down, I was burnt out. I was carrying a lot of anger and I was carrying a lot of shame. And what happened was eventually I crashed and I hurt people around me. I hurt myself. All the self hate, the anger, and the shame that I had built up and stuffed down for years exploded on everybody that I loved and cared about. So something changed in my life. Um, I had to figure out why this cycle was on repeat. So the first thing I did, and I'd never done this before, but I sat still. I began to breathe and I began to focus inward. And this was the first time I'd really attempted this, and I didn't even know what I was doing, but I was committed to changing my behaviors, not for a year, not for a short period of time, not for now, but permanently change what I was doing on repeat. And what began to happen in this isolation and moment of silence was that emotions started to come up, feelings started to come up, truth started to show up. And for the first time, I was able to really face the truth, not excuses, not things that I had told myself from a victim point of view, but raw truth about the ownership and responsibility of my actions. Not the finger pointing out to people to blame for me showing up in a certain way, but just the raw, honest truth about what was going on inside of me. It was brutal. It was hurtful. It was painful. But you know what? It didn't kill me. It didn't break me. It started to heal me. And so the first few times I felt very, very uncomfortable. But at the same time, I found myself walking away from those moments of silence and looking inward. I found that there was a peace that hasn't been there in years. And so the truth that I allowed myself to face pierced through the shame, the anger, everything that I had been bottling up on the inside. Around this time, I was also leading a process group for men. And I told myself, I'm going to do something I've never done before, but I'm going to show up in this process group and I'm going to lay it all out. I'm going to be brutally honest. I'm going to share things that I swore to myself I would never say out loud. My addictions, my thoughts, my fears, lay it all out. And I did just that. And when I saw the looks that came back of non-judgment and acceptance. And I started to hear similar struggles with men that I respect and admire. It gave me hope and it changed everything. Those two things took a lot of courage, more courage than it ever took for anything that I've done in the office, in the gym, on stage. But it was giving me so much more healing than I'd ever experienced in my life. If you're in a similar place, um, or this message resonates with you, you're not alone. I can tell you right now, from the men that I talk to every week, you are not alone. That is why I created Mountain Men, but I've also created a workshop that will be launching soon. And it's for men who are tired, men who are exhausted of pretending, of wearing the mask, of bottling their feelings and emotions inside and stuffing it deep down, and ready to get real. And meditation, brotherhood, truth telling, confession, it's all included in this workshop. And if that's something that you're interested in, be on the lookout for it. It's going to be announced soon. But until then, I just want to invite you to breathe, spend some time looking inward, and connect. So that's your challenge for this week. Take 5, 10 minutes more if you can a day just to look inward, focusing on your breathing. And then after each moment or session of doing that, journal, write down what did you experience? What feelings came up? While these feelings come up, you're not trying to fix it. You're not trying to judge or condemn yourself. You're just letting them rise and just breathing through it. And then journal about your experience. That's the first part of the exercise for this week. Second part of the challenge is I want you to pick up that heavy phone and I want you to reach out to somebody, a man that you trust or you admire. And I want you to tell them one thing that you've been hiding. It doesn't have to be everything, but pick one thing and share with them. Those two things is where the healing begins, and it's changed my life. I've tried many things, and I found myself in the same cycles and the same patterns because the things that I tried were quick fixes. And it didn't involve me being completely honest first with myself. It involved me making excuses, justifying my actions. But the inner work helped me to face the real truth and not the version that the victim me was telling myself. And until you break through that, you're never going to begin true healing within. So thank you for reaching out. Thank you for letting me know that this is resonating with you. We're not going anywhere. So follow for more. Looking forward to engaging with more of you and just being a part of this journey with you. Have a good week.